And Charge and Paris both charging out with that Winston 3-3 for now.
Yeah, Shu interestingly running the Moira, so a bit of a healing advantage over there on the side of the Guangzhou Charge.
I can have a little bit more AoE healing overall, and of course those damage orbs can do quite a bit of damage if they're left unchecked.
Yeah, I don't think Guangzhou anticipated Paris not to run Shadowburn on the Pharah here because they don't have a Discord orb to burn down tanks.
Yeah, you think now would be the time to run that far, but Shadowburn, speaking of getting burned down, he's in a lot of trouble, barely stays alive. Now it's Kruise under threat, but Chara, the first to fall Shadowburn, gets him with the whip shot on the Brigida, and Guangzhou Charge has to run. Shu gonna build up that coalescence really quickly, but can he keep his tanks alive? While he does so, he can, at the moment anyway. Although Rio had to jump away. That's going to be another kill for Paris here as Guangzhou Charge bullied out of the point.
Yeah, Guangzhou, they see Shadowburn, and soon, without Nico there, they're thinking there's not going to be a Brigida. They're going for a DPS-focused composition, but that just isn't the case. And now, we're going to get a pause.
All right, well, we'll have to see what the deal is with that.
Yeah, so when you, obviously they weren't expecting that, so when they come out of the gates, hence the reasoning behind the Moira pickup, because we frequently see Moira used because she can fade out of danger if she's getting flanked by a DPS or shot by a Pharah on the rockets, and you provide so much healing to your tank line, it becomes very difficult for DPS heroes to chunk through. But the other side of that is if you're running the Moira into a 3-3 composition, sure, you've got the healing, but you don't have the Discord orb to focus down a single target, and you need that extra bit of amplified damage. Otherwise, you're never going to get through the sustain. So, Paris Eternal, bit of mind games there. I like it, and that gets them the point first.
Yeah, they've got a couple support ultimates too to pair with this, whereas Guangzhou Charge not even close anymore. Soon, all charged up, doing a ton of damage. Gonna throw that grab in on the other side of the pillar. It's gonna be the sound barrier as well. Char and Eileen down already. Such a strong start. It's kind of looking like the Paris Eternal from their first match last stage, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And you know, Guangzhou, they're trying to adapt. They're playing Shu over on the Zenyatta already. But honestly, Eternal getting some good value out of their ultimates as the percentage keeps ticking up. Reminder, because we haven't seen Oasis so far, yet really in the Overwatch League, is that this point in particular frequently goes to 99-99 overtime.
Yeah, it does.
We'll
see if it does. Paris Eternal, everybody popping the ultimates, rallies used on both sides to give their teams that extra armor. Happy now, the one with the Graviton Surge, and if you're charged, this is how you want to turn it around. If you can land this ultimate, but he's just going to go and roast Cloudy. Wow. Just zaps him down.
Yep.
What can you do?
They knew he didn't have the ultimate ups to get the extra HP, so he's going to be the target of choice.
Rio goes ahead and uses his Primal Rage to help them seal the deal on this one. Hotba had used his ultimate as well, but slowly but surely the members of Paris Eternal going down, and that's going to be Guangzhou Charge eventually flipping the point.
Yeah, we'll get up to 90% or so here. 87 is the number that it ends on. Guangzhou Charge being pretty conservative overall in terms of their old usage. Happy because they got the first pick onto Cloudy. Didn't have to commit to the Graviton. Soon, nearly up at a Graviton to match, however.
Yeah. Eileen getting pretty close to the rally on the Charge side as well. Paris Eternal has some tools to use, but they've got time. They don't need to get desperate here.
They don't. So they're going to try and re-engage right now.
Yeah, right, here we
Happy
go.
sees the opportunity.
Yeah, there's the grab. Can they follow it up? They can. Shadowburn soon. Everybody going down to that one. That's a very clean fight won by Guangzhou, but Paris, of course, not dedicating really anything to it anyway, just building some ults.
Yeah, but Happy, all he had to use was the Graviton, and Kruise died before the sound barrier could be executed. So Paris doesn't commit much themselves, but it is still percentage over to the point for the Guangzhou Charge that they get an excellent value.
Indeed. Of course, Happy, we were hoping to see his Widowmaker. I think we still will today, but for now, still land that Zarya. Fairly well powered up, damage-wise. Just holding that high ground. It is tough to dislodge the Zarya sometime if she's up there. Here we go. Paris Eternal getting aggressive now. Cloudy, nowhere near that ultimate, though. Soon, with the grab.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid the Graviton right now. Guangzhou spread out.
All right, Primal Rage gets used. Soon, waiting this one out. No, there's a grab right now. Traps Guangzhou Charge against the pillar. Finzi with the self-destruct gets Eileen. The sound barrier not able to protect him. And Paris using their own sound barrier to try to keep the momentum going here.
Yeah, time still ticking up though for the Guangzhou Charge. Capture hasn't happened yet.
Paris Eternal, though, turning the tide. It is over 90% for Guangzhou. And like we said, this round usually plays very close, no matter who the teams are. But it will be Paris switching it back again. 99% for Guangzhou, but 90% already for Paris.
Gray manages to hold on to the Transcendence at the end of the fight. Watch Happy, though. He's so close to another Graviton.
That's going to be the key. They got to keep Happy alive. They got to get the grab. And if they can get a good one, they might be able to switch it back again. They're trying to flip it now. Grab gets used by Happy. If they get any kills out of that one, they trap Paris, but weren't able to finish anybody off right now. Paris back on the point. Charge nearly flipped it, but couldn't quite get it done. Shu with his Transcendence now. They might need to use that in a hurry. Eileen gets the shield just at the last minute. There we go, Shu trying to keep people alive with the Zenyatta. Oh, Chara gets caught, though, with the self-destruct from Finzi. Paris with an opportunity here. There goes Hotba as well. So Paris maintaining. They look like they might be able to push Charge off, but no, as soon as I say it, Eileen and Happy grab a couple, but Gray right back with one on Rio, and now Kruise has that sound barrier. Paris Eternal looks like they might be able to come out with the round, and they do, taking the lead on this map.
And props to Paris. The mind games pay off because they get so much percent off of winning that first engagement because of the Shadowburn Soon combination. Guangzhou Charge a bit fooled by that starting lineup, but I don't think they're going to be fooled again.
Right. It was a nice trick, putting in 2 DPS players, and then having them run the 3-3 anyway. It's like, well, you know what they say, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. And that's probably going to be a map going to Guangzhou.
It's fool me once, shame on you, but yes.
Oh, it is? I don't know. I've never been fooled, so I don't know how that is for people. Sounds hard. We're going to go to University for the next round here on Oasis. This is Paris Eternal looking to close this one out with a 2-0. Now Guangzhou Charge throwing in their own DPS. Paris Eternal, though, sticking with that 3-3.
Yeah, Guangzhou, they're really committing to running. You see this Orisa composition here, and they've got the McCree, but there aren't going to be very many flankers here for the Paris Eternal. Can they get Cloudy when he comes in with a flashbang?
That's the thing. You got to be really careful, not just get run over with this. There's
Nice
a flashbang. Ooh, the follow-up, not quite there, though. Finzi nearly demech. Now they get Soon. You really got to watch out for that flashbang, because you know there's going to be a Fan the Hammer coming in afterwards.
Oh, my.
And that's Charge doing the opposite, waiting for Eternal to charge in and making him pay for it.
Wow, Happy just shredding them with multiple Fan the Hammers, and they find Soon when he doesn't have a projected barrier, hit him with a flashbang, get him low, and separate him from the rest of the team. That leads to that first elimination, and Guangzhou Charge will start building up that control percentage.
Yep. The hammer was fanned, indeed.
Now remember, one of the changes this patch is that the Deadeye will deal more damage more quickly. So it is very good at destroying Winston bubbles and barriers.
Happy just trying to stay evasive. There's a Deadeye coming in now. Can he find anybody with it? Waiting for it. Oh, he gets 2. And that's what we're talking about, man. 2 tanks popped just like that. That's the new Deadeye.
That is the new Deadeye right there. You get to the 550 damage in, I think, 1.75 seconds now, so it can be, you can just delete people off the map. It can take out Winston bubbles. It can take out Reinhardt shields with ease.
Deader eye, basically.
Extra deadly eye,
Extra dead, yeah.
And Happy's been dealing so much damage. He got it relatively quickly.
I mean, McCree's usually did anyway, but Happy certainly quicker than a lot. Waiting for that flashbang around the corner. There we go. Nice damage loaded into Finzi there. Has to back away. Gets another one as well. Looks like Paris going to get a lot of the way towards flipping this one. It's going to be the Primal Rage as well from Cloudy to try to push everybody on Charge back again. Char and Rio both down. And so Paris giving up a lot of percentage here, but it looks like in the end, they will be able to flip it back and start building a little bit of a control percent themselves.
Yeah, they just want to die on the point right now because they are close to one-fight territory after this flips at 77%.
You're really happy with this if you're Guangzhou Charge. You saved a bunch of ultimates. You got a ton of percentage. You're going to be pretty thrilled.
Yeah, you're nearly at 6 ultimates right now. Although Paris Eternal, they do have the trance to deal with Eileen on the Graviton Surge. The problem is you can't stop the instant damage coming in from a Deadeye if you allow Happy to get into position. Paris needs to be proactive with this Graviton and try and combo with Finzi's self-destruct before they can get into a good position behind an Orisa barrier to unleash hell with the Deadeye.
Yeah. Unleash death with the Deadeye. There's the grab. All right. Happy. Can't shoot that. Ooh, he got it around the corner just in time. Ooh, nearly found that kill on the Gray anyway. That was a close one, but Paris managed to avoid the Deadeye. Now they have to worry about Eileen's grab. Cloudy taking a lot of damage here. They've done that. Oh, but there's Rio. Gets taken out. But is Paris in the position to chase? They are. And so, Paris Eternal maintains control of the point. Again, they're up to 50%.
And Guangzhou only invested that sound barrier. When the fight was lost, they backed off. Paris had to use the grab and, of course, a self-destruct to win that fight. They claw themselves back within striking distance of that 77%. They still have the trance at least for Eileen's Graviton.
They've got the tools. They just need to put them to work to try to tie this map up. Paris Eternal trying to hold. There's a grab on the wall to pull everybody in. The Transcendence used by Gray. Hotba gets his mech back. Doesn't get any kills with that self-destruct, though. Kruise gets run over, though. Hotba just takes him down with the rockets as he flies by. And now Guangzhou Charge, flipping the point back again. Happy zoning with the Deadeye. Yes, it's a real thing. I said it. Zoning ultimate. Charge, meanwhile, cleaning up the rest of Paris Eternal. And that's going to be a retake on the point. And like we mentioned earlier, they are basically in one-fight territory now.
But everything used on the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Shadowburn with the rally is going to give them a decisive advantage, not to mention Kruise's sound barrier. Paris, they should be able to retake this one unless Guangzhou can get a miracle pick-off here on the approach.
You got to get a really good flashbang, I think is what you need. Happy needs to stun some people. Here we go. Cloudy jumps in, but he's got the Zarya shield. He can't be stunned. And they're just going to take it right back again. Wow, Charge just muscled right off the point. And now Cloudy with the Primal Rage. Can he just keep them zoned? He's going to just kill Eileen. Why not? Gets stunned, but that's okay because he knocks away Happy in the process. Paris Eternal getting to fight that 65. Rio on his own, not going to live. As he falls down into the pit, and that Coalescence from Shu is not going to do a whole lot. Happy with the Deadeye. Can he get anybody? No, not quite. Soon, though, all charged up on that Zarya. 99% for both players now. And it really looks like Paris Eternal is going to be taking this map, overtime ticking away. And I don't think there's too much Guangzhou Charge could do to prevent that. Rio's back on the wrecking ball now, but that's going to be about it. Paris Eternal, 2-0 on Oasis.
Well, who would have thought, Doa? Paris struggles in 3-3. They changed out a few players. Shadowburn's the Brigida now. Cloudy's tanking. Gray's on the Zen. And look at that, 2-0 over Guangzhou.
They looked really good, man. They looked really tight on that map. We'll see if they can keep it up when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
going back to the point we were just talking about, you and I got to sit in on some scrims, talk to some coaches and players, and a lot of people saying this is a very attacker-favored map, and you can see why, but we might actually see 2 holds here.
Yeah, might be. So a while to go yet. Now take a look at Char right here with a nice boop out of the Graviton Surge to set up the kills there. Very well done.
Yep.
Great timing with Hotba.
Good charge onto the Reinhardt as well. Deny any sort of shield. Guangzhou charge, defending a little bit more aggressively now.
I mean, defending the choke here, obviously a little bit more ideal. Rio going to be fine in terms of HP. Actually, the tank line getting chunked out is going to throw a Earth Shatter into a barrier.
Kruise really going for those boops there. He's known for that. They're going to have to pop the Transcendence. Now the Shatter comes in from Cloudy. Knocked down Hotba, but they didn't get the kill on that. But Rio in trouble already. Gets charged. And now the grab comes in from Guangzhou. Can they get any kills out of this? No, it's going to be Finzi that gets the double on his self-destructed. Paris Eternal just rolling on to point B now.
Yeah, they're going to start taking it as well. Can Rio get there? Is booped up? No. The Wrecking Ball will not reach the target of the control point.
A pretty good denial there at the end by Paris, keeping charge off of that, just taking after the clean team fight win. 2:14 left in the clock for them. They get the job done on Paris. We're going to take a quick break, and then Charge has a turn to attack.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Well, Paris Eternal on Paris, the Overwatch Assault map, got the job done on attack with a bit of time in the time bank. 2:14, not too bad. Now they have to defending the home turf against Guangzhou Charge. This is as close as we're going to come to a home game, really, until next year, I suppose. But
Yeah. I mean, it is fun to have that little bit of a storyline coming in. And I got another cool story for you.
You just got to take ownership over maps like this, you know?
Well, Finzi and Kruise have yet to die on this map.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So this is, I think, pretty excellent for Kruise, who sometimes went in very aggressively.
Those people in the hot air balloons are like floating over point B, and they're like, nope, not going to go down there.
Not in the war zone, as it were. Paris Eternal running a bunker composition.
Yeah.
Except with Soon on a Sombra. Happy waiting to see if he's going to need to switch off. And they are going to make some large changes here. Hello. That is a very weird attack composition. What? They are going to out-bunker the bunker.
Here we go.
They're playing double barrier with the Reinhardt. They're just going to stand there and melt the Orisa barrier with 2 barriers to defend themselves.
So the great thing with this, too, is that even if you have somebody diving onto your Bastion, you've got the invulnerability field to keep them alive a little bit more. So as soon as this shield lands, that's going to be the go button. Here it is. Oh, I love this.
They got hacked.
Oh, he got hacked, though. Soon got behind them.
Yep, they didn't know Soon, I think, was on the Sombra.
Yep.
So really, they have Hotba, though, to spin around and decloak the Sombra. So they should be able to do this.
You still have the shield advantage.
They're looking for this Sombra. There we go.
You gotta keep your Bastion alive. You gotta keep him not hacked. It's tough. They broke the shields here. Danye in trouble. They're going to kill Kruise's invulnerability.
Yeah. This will displace them off the high ground. They have an invulnerability field of their own now.
Yep. The invuln field can be killed. You can take out the little flying Oreo cookie thing. Kib's got his ultimate already. Oh, he's down though. Danya gets a kill on the Bastion.
They were trying to rotate out of the damage amplification matrix, but to get their own down on the flank, but they couldn't do it. But they got one now.
Got the res. There's the wall. Okay, they're firing through it here, but Happy already down. It's a wacky game, but so far so good for Paris Eternal.
Yeah, that was actually very close because obviously if Kib hadn't been killed on the rotation, they would have gotten the amplification matrix down on the flank and then been in very good position.
So what do you do as Guangzhou charge now? Do you just keep going with this? Looks like that's what their plan for now, but I don't know. When do you make the change?
So the problem for Guangzhou is that they're running, you know, they have a Mercy ultimate available to them. Soon is going to come in with an EMP though. He's waiting. He's looking.
Psychic.
He's juking.
What's going to happen here? All right, there's the EMP. All the shields out of the way. Oh, and that's a nice halt to bring people back into the line of fire.
Yeah, you also wasted the Valkyrie as well for Chara. So they were trying to use that chain healing to get through the choke point, but when all the barriers go down, it's just too much damage. Now Kruise returning.
Yeah, and a little extra bonus for Sombra too. You hack those health packs twice as fast as everything else now.
All right, try and get through this choke point again. How's this going to work? Remember, they don't have any healing ultimates available to them.
Yeah.
Gray has trance.
Wow, and they've even got the supercharger now on the Paris side as well. Invuln field to use for Guangzhou charge, trying to stay alive, but it's not going to help out. Happy down already. Paris Eternal refuses to be dislodged. I like Kruise kind of putting the invuln field a little bit around the corner there too, making it harder to shoot. You can see they kind of bumped their composition slightly to the left, so you can put the invuln field in the doorway there.
I mean, this is getting pretty disastrous for Guangzhou because they keep getting picked off like that.
Yep. I don't think this one's going to end very well for the charge. They need to get a win, and they need it now. And the invuln field has been used. That's a long cooldown that they're not going to have for their next attack, and they need it.
Okay, so they have Supercharger now, which means that they will have a significantly higher damage output and 2 barriers at the Reinhardt. This has got to be the play that works. Soon, they got to do it before Soon gets EMP as well.
I was going to say, it's now or never. Soon has the EMP.
Uh-oh. Well, it's too late.
He didn't get found.
They forced the translocator, so now they can come through the choke point. Uh-oh.
He's going to get EMP, though. There we go. Finzi throws the self-destruct in there, finds Kib, who is separated from his team. Now Shu just walking forward, takes a cannonball to the face. Chara res is happy, but I think it's too little too late. It's one of the most entertaining rounds I think I've seen in a while. Hoppa goes and pops that self-destruct. Danya picks him out of the air. It's skeet shooting now, and nobody even touches the payload from Guangzhou charge. Paris Eternal with a 2-0 lead going into the half.
And a full hold. We haven't seen Type Bank on Paris yet, surprisingly.
So, forget all that attacker favorite stuff here, too. Whatever.
Well,
thanks a lot, coaches of the league.
I think Guangzhou had an interesting idea, but it wasn't very well executed.
That's right. Quick break, and then we come back with halftime. Don't miss it.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
everything seems to be going right for the Paris Eternals so far. In this one, they're having no problems handling the charge, up 2-0 at the half. Welcome back, everybody. Malik here with Brent and Sideshow. Guys, Paris Eternal look like they're returning to old form so far with a dominant first half all the way through, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not really fair, though, is it? You know,
they got the home field advantage.
The home field advantage stole my joke.
For some reason, I knew that one was coming.
Exactly. you shouldn't have been allowed it. You know, you don't get any points for that. It was too obvious.
Unbelievable.
All right, so let's talk about some of the standout stuff. Starting with Oasis, a little bit of a closer bout between these two teams.
Yeah.
Charge looked like they were going to. I was expecting a little bit more variety from them, but what do you guys think overall?
A very impressive Paris. Honestly, I think that they've made significant steps up.
Yes.
They seem to be utilizing all the pieces of their roster quite effectively as well coming into this. I mean, they said it themselves. This should be their meta game. Fincy was talking a big game in your Twitch
chat the other night, wasn't he? He really was. Kruise, just as I was walking on here to come on the halftime, Kruise passed me and he was like, "This is not our meta, not our meta." Get out of here, Kruise.
I heard him. I actually heard him do that.
I know.
So what were some of? Let's talk about the other team. Let's talk about the Charge. What were some of the, I guess, the shining moments for them in that first half?
Has to be Happy, I think, is one of the talking points realistically, because he was again, he's one of these star players. He's picked up. He's got a phenomenal set of heroes. In particular, he's doing relatively well on anything that really requires aim. I mean, his Widowmaker is what he really became known well known for, I should say. But he whipped out the McCree in this game, and he was one of the shining spots of Guangzhou.
Oh, absolutely.
Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out in their favor with the entire map.
Right, but I think the issue there is not so much the individual performance, but how they were utilizing the ultimates. That was my big issue with that one, because the way that they'd set up, they had a fight that they absolutely needed to win, and just beefed a couple of their ults, and the Diva and the Zarya from Paris managed to sync up a great combo on them, and they end up losing it. And that's, at the end of the day, you've got to win those fights when all the ults are on the board.
Right. Every fight counts. All those fights count. Now, on the other side, two faces that we haven't seen much for the Paris Eternal. We had Gray and Cloudy who were in the lineup. How did they perform in you guys' opinion?
Pretty average, honestly.
Yeah?
I'd say.
Pretty average?
I'd be
you want to pick him up a little bit more?
Yeah, I know. I really think Cloudy's been a great performer on Winston so far.
Okay, you're just trying to run with your best EU main tank narrative.
No. Listen, I think Cloudy and Gray have actually been performing pretty well so far. And I think the reason that they've got Gray in is he's a bit more flexible, perhaps, than Heap. Yeah. We saw him play the Ana a little bit, and he looked good on the Ana. He had some great performances there.
Got a good Sombra on him as well.
Sleeps.
I mean, we didn't see it here. But
you're probably not going to see it. But I think these two are good additions. And what I'm impressed about with Paris is actually that they've rotated a bunch of different people in.
Yes.
We saw Shadowburn, and then we saw Danye, and we've seen Gray come in, and we've seen Cloudy as well. So this is a team that, even after their disappointment in stage one, has now found not just one roster, but a bunch of different looks for them.
Right.
That's impressive.
I will say I've been very excited to see Danye on the stage a little more. He was one of my favorite players during Overwatch World Cup, seeing him do his thing for Team Poland, and now he's here in Overwatch League. And man, I'm glad to see him getting the playtime. He was a decent Bastion. That little bunker comp they ran there was pretty awesome.
I don't know whether to love it or hate it.
I know.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
That was that match. If every Overwatch League game ended up like that with a Bastion away,
on
Orisa
both sides,
mirror match, I think I would quit by the end of the week.
That's the new meta.
When I was watching that, I was like, we were sat in the back line, in the back rooms, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is so cool! It's not triple time, triple supports." And I was like, "This is terrible!" Like they're just spamming each other in choke points.
Kind of reminds me of the beta days when Bastion had a shield.
I do love though that it's like a niche strategy that you can run on certain maps, and the fact that Paris is more open gives it a different dynamic to a bunch of the different maps. Right. So the map pool itself can create variance in strategy, which is awesome to see.
Right. All right. So right now the Guangzhou Charge, they're down 0-2, and it looks like the Paris Eternal have pretty much had their number, even down to that last strat when they tried to run the bunker comp and they had the Sombra ready. So what can the Charge do to kind of mix things up and confuse Paris? Is there anything they can do at this point?
I mean, for one thing, I would say for Guangzhou, I think they should stick to the triple tank, triple support that they play pretty well. It seems like, again, I've said this for Philadelphia Fusion, when they opt into, I don't want to use the word clown fiesta, it's a bit rude, but when you opt into the damage-dealing compositions, when you're maybe not as accustomed to, I mean, there's no reason you can't win. New York SL proved that you can stick to what you're comfortable with the triple tank, triple supports, and you can still actually overcome a lot of the compositions. Now, not saying run it into the Bastion comp, That's a bit
No,
nonsense.
that isn't a good
But
idea.
at the end of the day, they do have the fundamentals there. I consider them to be one of the best triple tank, triple supports teams, at least compared to a lot of the teams.
Yeah,
in the
they're
league.
very good.
So, yeah, I would definitely say stick to their fundamentals in that regard. Josh, you're looking quite perplexed. Hit me with your knowledge. Come on.
No, I'm just
Put you on the spot.
The map pool in the first half wasn't great for the Charge as well. This is
Yeah.
places that Paris are very comfortable with. So moving forward, the second half is a new half. They just got to treat this like a clean sweep. And I know because I was talking to some of the Paris people, they're very confident, perhaps even a little too confident. So we'll see if it bites them.
All right, well, we're going to find out if Guangzhou can bring it back right after the break. Stay tuned, guys.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Well, Paris Eternal up 2-0 over the Guangzhou Charge. Not a result a lot of us were expecting, but it certainly has been interesting. Paris got a little bit weird. I'm not talking about the team now, I'm talking about the map. This is going to get confusing later in the season. Realize that now.
Let's call him Eternal.
Eternal.
There you go.
Things got a little bit weird for Eternal on Paris. Guangzhou as well, we kind of saw the Bastion comms colliding, which involves a lot of looking at each other and shooting with one hero at the other one. But in the end, it really was Soon on that Sombra that kind of made the difference.
Yeah, also just like kind of poor invulnerability field usage by the Guangzhou Charge, inopportune times.
He's a new hero, I suppose.
Yeah, not respecting the Sombra, but soon also doing a lot of work on the Sombra. And speaking of Sombra players, it will be Eileen coming back in for Kip.
Indeed. So a sub on the Guangzhou side, and Shadowburn coming back in for Paris, subbing in for Danya, who played quite well, I would say, on Paris.
Legendary Brigida player, Shadowburn.
That's right, yeah. Legendary Brigida, known mostly for that. A little bit Genji, a little bit far, but mostly Brigida.
Mostly Brigida.
Mostly Brigida.
As of stage 2.
Just like Prophet, yeah. Known mostly for his Brigida and Zarya. We're going to Eichenwald. It's going to be our hybrid map in this series versus Guangzhou Charge. And unless Guangzhou Charge can get something rolling, we are going to see Paris in a quick match here. Should be a surprising result, but very cool to see from the Eternal. We did see a reverse sweep already today.
We did. Something tells me this one may not be, however, given the caliber of Paris' play. And now we it seems as though, tentatively,
Yes.
that we are likely to see something more along the lines of a Shadow Burn soon hero composition that we could have expected coming into map 1 but didn't materialize.
Right.
Guangzhou Charge Hotba will be on the Pharah on a triple DPS defense with Rio
Cool.
on the ball.
I like this meta. I'm already a fan of this meta. Finzi with a last moment swap over to Soldier 76 as well. They've got quad DPS on the Eternal side. Gray gonna swap though, of course, just trying to take a shot on that Widowmaker before going back over to the Ana. Eileen taking some hits before he translocates away. And Paris on the move.
That they are. So they will also be heading up that triple DPS composition. So
Yeah.
mirror comps for both these teams, but that is a
Whoa.
huge kill of Gray onto Chara.
No kidding. I mean, the thing is if you take 3 hits from Ana, that's gonna kill you. Cannot allow that to happen. Soon does get Eileen. Paris Eternal starting to grab a couple kills here. Shadowburn trying to help cap the point here. That's Gray just knocking out Hotba with the bionic grenade in the end, and that's a very fast point to take by Paris.
Yes, it is. That is going to be quite quick, and you just can't lose your Mercy that quickly.
Yeah.
No more res, no more healing up for the far in the sky easily. As the Shoes Ana is going to be split, and even then soon.
What?
Okay.
Hotba's having a hard time with this far. He does get res.
Oh my.
Happy down as well. Shadowburn just all over these guys. Man, Paris Eternal doing the right thing and going way far forward on Guangzhou Charge. They are going to get so much distance on this payload.
Yeah, they are. And because of that first fight, too, they have a big ultimate advantage. Rio. He's the sneakiest. He's the sneakiest ball.
The pipe fell over.
Looking around the corner.
Rio Apagano Lasu says, oh, it leans down. Cloudy gets it. Finzi in trouble as well. Hotba finds one. Shadowburn going back to help. No, he's not. He's just going to do some more shots. You don't want to get hit by the sleep dart over the bottomless pit. Got to be careful as Shadowburn in that situation.
Rio
down again, though.
Yeah, isolated on the flank with a sleep dart trying to delay the payload, but this has just been disastrous for the Guangzhou Charge.
I mean, they are just looking completely frazzled at this point.
Heroes never die.
All right, well, it's going to be the Mercy ult from Kruise as Paris tries to cruise their way towards the end of point B. All right, Happy coming out with some beautiful tracking. That's right. It's time. Gets a couple with that tactical visor. Charge striking back now. Finzi uses his own Soldier 76 ultimate. And now Rio backs away. Okay, so Paris Eternal finally having to give some distance back to the Charge.
I mean, they got so much free payload movement, though. This whole map has been free payload movement and free point captures for the Paris Eternal.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Guangzhou is committed to using this DPS defense.
Whoa, nice shot from Shadowburn.
Oh,
damage
boy.
off the wall. Gets Char on the way out. And a punch. What?
A quad for Shadowburn.
He's back.
He is back, and this is what Guangzhou should have been expecting. So you think, all right, now that they're actually running it, what is their plan? And their plan is to get quad killed by Shadowburn's Pharah.
That is not a good plan. Soon does take out Eileen. That's the second time he's EMP'd and immediately died. All right, Shu finally finishes off Shadowburn, but guess what? Point B has been taken.
I mean, there is no backup there for that EMP. Guangzhou,
Yeah.
they're just playing awful right now.
I've never seen Guangzhou as scattered, as like poorly organized as I have in this map.
Yeah,
and in this series in general.
They've just been picked off one by one, ruining their own ult economy. They just don't seem to be communicating very well.
All right, Soon coming in. Excuse me, nearly has that EMP again. He's got it now, uses it. Charge in even more trouble already. That was like a 6-man EMP right there. Paris Eternal, no trouble at all finishing him off. And this has been a devastatingly fast map.
Holy moly. This is just so ridiculously one-sided.
Yeah. They're going for the record, man. Can they even get there? They can, just barely. Eileen touches. Hotba on the payload as well. Now they need to finish everybody else off here. Rio does get hacked. Can they finish him? Invuln Field comes down. Gonna get taken out quickly, but they do get Kruise. So the 6v5 in favor of the Charge at the moment. Stun on Cloudy, waiting for it. He's nearly got that Earth Shatter. There goes Shadowburn, though. So Paris slowly hemorrhaging players here. They need to back off.
Yeah, that was a weird overcommitment with the nano boost.
Yeah.
to that scenario. Guangzhou.
Maybe you swap, though. Maybe here's where Gray switches over to the Zenyatta.
We will see.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
So,
the Zen swap.
Yep.
As you say, not a lot of healing, though, for the Paris Eternal. That's the downside of this, is that when you're also running the Sombra, and it's not a Baptiste or a Brigitte, your healing's very low. So they're going to have to play for this EMP. They can't win a straight-up fight without EMP.
Well, they've got plenty of time. Still 3 minutes left here. Char's going to go ahead and use the amp field. Amp Matrix. Takes a bit of damage, and again, Paris just backs away. It's going to take a while for teams to get good at using this Baptiste ultimate.
All right, here we go. Soon's got the EMP now. This is what they were waiting for.
Yep, that is correct. All right, Shatter comes down. Eileen. Laid low. Shu comes in with the Transcendence. There's the EMP not used yet. Oh, boy. Soon, he tried. He tried. At least he didn't get killed during the animation. That's what I'm going to say there.
I mean, he jumped into a graviton, so...
Well, you know, maybe he's very small. He's easily affected by its power.
I mean, I enjoyed
power
him.
Of gravity, Monty.
I enjoyed him floating there helplessly. All right, so here we go again. That was a very long push from Paris to get the EMP.
Yep.
To use their own graviton, and then to ridiculously fail.
2 minutes remaining. Self-destruct used by Hotba. Happy down, though. Paris Eternal striking back. Got the 6v5 now. Gonna push in.
I mean, they have to win this. They have no trance, and they have no EMP.
And there goes Shu. Lucy ultimate used by Paris. Kruise giving them the extra shields. They're getting the kills now on the Hotba. Rio and Happy trying to get what they can done with the damage they have. Rio down, though. It looks like that might be it. No, Paris has to get a couple more kills here, but here, Happy can't even jump on the payload. That's it. Paris Eternal finishes Eichenwald. Good amount of time left in the time bank, too. I believe they had over a minute, which on Eichenwald, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, they knew their win condition, had to play around the EMP on the trance because that was a very limited amount of AoE healing that they had to win the fight and disable their opponents. They end up doing it.
Quick break, and when we come back, Charge goes on the attack.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back to Eichenwald. Paris Eternal finishing their attack with 1:38 in the clock now. It's time for Guangzhou Charge to try their luck at finishing this map perhaps a bit faster, perhaps not at all, the way that Paris has been playing today. Guangzhou Charge in a lot of trouble. Didn't think I'd be saying that.
I also didn't think you'd be saying that, or that I would be thinking it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one thing to think it. It's another thing to say it.
You've committed to it, though.
That's right.
I'll also commit to it. I did not think that we'd see Paris Eternal in this situation, but they have proved us wrong, and now...
Good for them. Yeah.
They are going to be playing the same defense.
That was a close one.
All right, we should see a swap. I'm happy should be swapping off right now.
Yep. To the Soldier 76, of course. I mean, you still have to have something that deals with that Pharah to a certain extent. You want to at least put a bit of pressure. You think so? Oh.
Now he's onto the Widow.
Oh, okay. All right.
Eileen just killed Gray.
Meanwhile, Eileen finds a big pick, yeah.
It looked like there was a biotic grenade that hit a clustered group of players, and that's what triggered Eileen to go in and just take out Gray. Gray quickly resurrected, however.
Yep. All right. You can see Cloudy kind of coming out and showing his face to Happy to try to draw that fire. Covered Soon's ability to jump over to the other building without having to deal with a fully charged up Widowmaker shot. Nice little play there. Cloudy hit with the biotic grenade, but Hotba gets the kill onto Shadowburn. Paris Eternal's attack falling apart a little bit here. Gonna have to go back and regroup perhaps. Eileen translocates out in time. You know, that said, Guangzhou Charge getting some time on the point now. Hotba got the environmental kill on the Cloudy, it looks like, too. Whoa.
Yeah, 6 versus 4 on the point right now for the Guangzhou Charge, and they are starting to get that control percent up.
Yep. All right, Happy.
No one can hide from his sights.
Nope. That's okay. I don't think Gray wants to. He's just going to hop off anyway.
Gray got knocked off there by Rio.
Yeah, I probably didn't want to reset just yet, but it's going to be fairly soon. Now it's tactical visor time. Soon walking in, getting the auto aim, but Hotba. Who needs auto aim when you got a billion rockets, right?
And also a nano boost.
That helps too.
Here we go.
A double
Finally.
kill with it. Now the triple onto Finzi, and that is going to be charged. Getting the payload moving.
And a big comp swap, of course, from the Paris Eternal. Who likes Winston 3-3? Paris Eternal does, even though, you know, they tried to play through that round here with the triple DPS, and that is exactly what Guangzhou are going to do. They decide they don't want to mirror it on point B defense.
Right. Paris getting aggressive now. Gonna give Hotba a good opportunity to fire down on high onto Shadowburn. Eileen with the finishing blow there. Transcendence from Gray, not able to save his teammates. Cloudy does get Shu, but Charge overall is gonna come out ahead here. There's a minefield now. Paris Eternal has to back away. Kruise finds a mine and not in the way you want to. Goodbye soon. And Charge should start to get a little bit of distance going on this payload now.
Yeah, they are going to finally get there, but honestly, a nice stall from the Paris Eternal. Guangzhou had a pretty quick point A cap, but they're not going to be moving through B all too quickly. Soon now going to be moving over to the McCree. And so Eileen will have to be a little bit more cautious when it comes to some of his flanking routes, and Gray wants to be over on the Ana.
Oh. Here we go, Gray. He's going to be moving over to the Afterlife instead. Hotba just is trying to rain from a 90-degree angle, but that doesn't work out. Gets one. Actually does. His team with the follow-up. He even gets rezzed. Yep. So Charge in a perfectly fine situation here. Oh, stopped. Whoa.
I liked Rio's diva brutality there.
Gonna have to dig Finzi out of the ground like a pirate treasure chest at this point.
Just slammed it there like a fence post.
That's right. Ouch. Brutal. Guangzhou Charge, ever closer to finishing point B. It's an aggressive move from Cloudy. He doesn't have a lot of health. Cloudy on his own. He's got that primal rage, though. He's going to go ahead and use it, trying to look for a few environmental kills, but he's going to have to settle for Happy dying to self-destruct. That's how I was going to finish that sentence all along.
That's right, just backhanding him straight into an exploding Diva mech. Guangzhou sitting on a pile of ultimates, however.
Eileen coming in with the EMP. Maybe looking for just an attack.
Well, he's looking at it soon. I mean, he doesn't want to get in range of flashbang, so...
the fire there. We got tagged. Oh, no, we got it with the sleep dart. He got out, actually. That translocate delivering him to safety.
Oh,
a lot of damage from that minefield.
Yeah, Rio thought, though, that the EMP was going to be activated.
Yeah.
So had it been, they wouldn't have escaped all that damage.
It was close. Cloudy taking a nap up on the high ground. Finzi trying to save him. Meanwhile, Happy has a nano boost going in for the nano visor. Shadowburn down, looking for more. Cloudy a little bit low. Happy trying to finish him off. We got to be careful there. Ooh. And man, that Winston still does a lot of damage.
Luckily, had the Mercy healing beam onto him. Hot buff once again with a barrage. Not going to need it, though.
We should mention, too, at some point that Soldier does do a little bit more damage per shot now. He did get a bit of a buff in the last patch.
20 damage per bullet instead of 19. Yeah. So slight increase.
Well, with his fire rate, that does add up to quite a bit more damage over time.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right. Payload through the gate. As we see, of course, Guangzhou swap to a Reinhardt 3-3. So what we expect from this point.
Yep.
Reinhardt, always popular in the narrow hallways and sharp right angles.
It's
Eichenwald C.
It's lore appropriate.
It is.
Yeah. For this map. Paris Eternal holding strong in the payload for the moment.
Although it's weird that Reinhardt just let his master rot on that chair for decades.
I mean, he probably took him out of the armor. That's probably just the armor. I hope it's just the armor. I don't know.
What's the point of coming back here?
Ask Michael Chu, I guess, to pick up the armor, obviously. Ooh, nice sleep dart, actually. Wakes him up right away, but it was a nice sleep dart for a moment. All right, Paris trying to hold back the tide. Guangzhou Charge just spending some time building up some ultimates. Both teams just poking, positioning, gaining that ult percentage.
All right, Happy getting close to that Graviton Surge right now. Patient game from the Charge.
Yep. And Happy has the grab now. Ooh, gets run over though soon. Gets the kill. Paris Eternal striking back. Killing Happy right as he got his Graviton Surge.
Yeah, great timing from the Paris Eternal to push their advantage. And they only commit a nano boost too. So massive win for Eternal, playing very well around this choke point.
Yeah.
And it's only a minute left, and if that time elapses, Paris Eternal will go ahead and win this series.
Even if the Guangzhou Charge finish point C now, they're going to do so with less time in the time bank than Paris Eternal. So no matter what, Paris has the edge in this map from here on out.
You definitely do.
A lot of ultimates too, 5 out of 6. Charge getting close as well. They've got 5 as well. Shatter, use. Nobody really knocked down by that one. Rallies on both teams to get that extra armor now. Oh, Cloudy. Has to avoid that one. Sound barrier used by Kruise, just in case. Ultimate slowly being bled out of both teams. There's the Graviton Surge from Charge. Gonna get a couple kills here, and now Paris Eternal, they got Happy, but that's all they got. Charge, able to push that payload farther.
That was a kind of strange defense for Eternal. They had to use a lot of ultimates because they didn't play the corner properly, and we saw Cloudy's barrier get very low because they weren't using it for cover.
Yeah. And that payload is really close now to finishing for Charge, but they only have 10 seconds remaining. This is going to be it. This is going to be the fight. Soon's grab needs to be huge here. They've got the combo with Finzi as well coming in. There's the sound barrier for Guangzhou Charge. Oh, Soon gets stunned. Throws out the grab anyway. Here comes the self-destruct, and it grabs Rio. That's one. Now Hotba responding with his. No kills out of that one, though. And Cloudy turns around with another shatter of his own. Happy eliminated, and I think Paris Eternal has got this one right here, right now. They got to stay on the payload. You can see Chara was trying to maybe get a bit of a sneak there, but it's not going to work out. Overtime expires, and Paris Eternal will win this series 3-0 over Guangzhou Charge. One more map to go, but it's all Eternal.
Well, looks like what Kruise might have told Sideshow may be right. Maybe this is Paris' meta overall.
Could be, man.
Looking sharp today, that's for sure. We'll see if they can keep it up through the rest of the stage.
Well, starting things off with a 4-0 would be a crazy start for Paris. Let's see if they can get it done when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Well, guys, it's a new stage, it's a new meta, and that is just fine with Paris Eternal. They are up 3-0 for Guangzhou Charge. They have won the series, one more map to go. We say it all the time, but map 4s really do matter when it comes to those stage playoffs down the line, perhaps the overall playoffs. We saw it last stage. It's true.
Well, it also extra matters to Paris, right? Because remember, both of these teams were 3 and 4 coming in this this game. But remember, the big difference was map differential. And Guangzhou Charge started this at -1. Paris started this at -8. So even though they had the same match record, the map differential was absolutely enormous. So Paris, if they want to start competing for even season playoff slots, they have to close that gap.
Yeah, they need to make up some ground, and getting 4-0 certainly helps with that. A 3-0 start is perfect for them, and I gotta say, they have looked really good. And the surprising thing to me is how they've done it in terms of mixing around their roster, playing like Danya, bringing in Cloudy. These are things that I don't think Charge was expecting. Gray as well, but all of these members, as they've kind of rotated through Paris Eternal today, have all looked really good in their roles.
Yeah. And, even Shadowburn moving over to the Brigitte was a bit of a mind game. Yeah. Obviously, in the future, many more teams will be prepared for Shadowburn within that position. But it does seem like the new coach, Fei Fei, may have solved a lot of these issues coming in, whether these changes were planned before Demon left and this was the result of that, or whether Fei Fei, as part of his ascension into the head coach status, was the one to make these changes. We'll have to find out later on down the road. But it just seems like the pieces are fitting together a bit better, at least in this very early match in Stage 2 for the Paris Eternal.
Right. Let's take a look at our substitutions here. It's another one on the Guangzhou side. Kib back once again for map number 4, subbing in for Eileen.
And we'll see if we get to see any of Kib's Genji, historically the hero that he has been most known for, even though he was picked up as part of the British World Cup team that he basically exclusively played Brigitte for. So it's that hero that got him into the Overwatch League.
Yeah.
But it's not the hero that made his name before the Overwatch League.
Sure. Well, I mean, I feel like there's like what you played, and then there's what you played during the 3-3 meta for the most part. For any DPS players out there.
True.
It's like a past life at this point, for some of these guys.
I like how DPS players finally had to learn how to use cooldowns, though. That was exciting for me.
Wow, somebody seems kind of bitter about playing tank.
No, I love playing tank.
Oh.
But, I like my DPS players to understand ability cooldowns, so...
You're asking a little bit too much.
I know. They're all aim, no brain. What can you say?
That's right. It's a classic. Speaking of a classic, let's go to Junkertown. That's right. It's our escort map for this series. And it will be, I believe, Paris Eternal on the attack, trying to push that payload as far as they can. Ideally to the end. The way things have been going, would not be surprised, but this has always been a more attacker-favored escort map, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And this map in particular, especially Point A, has some of the longest sightlines in Overwatch. And it also is a map that, as you can see from our teams here, has been very focused on Orisa, Halt, and Roadhog hook combos. So the idea is you throw the Halt out, the hook comes in over the top, and you yank somebody over to Widowmaker. Hanzo, very, very good on Point A because of those long sight lines, and it's going to be...
Whoa! Cloudy down immediately. Right off the bat. So,
it's okay.
Getting it res, no problem.
And Shadow... Oh,
hello.
Sorry, he'll get res too. Don't
Soon's
worry
back.
about it. Don't worry.
Hey, what were you saying about Soon's Widowmaker earlier?
Mercy. The mistake deleter.
That's true. We're back. Mercy's back, guys.
Well, you can't delete that mistake, so...
Res thyself. Physician, res thyself.
Yes.
You can't, huh?
You can't.
No.
You can't. And that was the Hulk coming in there for the Mercy. So Shadowburn here, this is what we call the pirate ship.
Yep.
The payload is full of booty. And there is the sail of the pirate ship right there with Orisa's barrier and, of course, the cannons, which is the bastion. So we're back to classic Junkertown strategies.
Ah, yes. But why mess with the classic, right? Cruise down. The classic gets messed with, I guess. There goes Rio, rather. Gray pops that invulnerability field, and that might be enough to deliver them through to the end of Point A. It is.
And it's
back up again.
It's a little bit better now too because Gray got a couple arrows in him, but it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
So Gray has the invulnerability field to protect them should they start getting low. And here we go. Point A, relatively easily taken by the Paris Eternal. Guangzhou Charge sticking to their guns right now, or rather their bow and arrows, as Kib has the Dragon Strike up. And that does help clear people off the cart, so typical positioning right now for the Orisa and Bastion in the middle of the point at the bend of the U on the high ground.
All right, Soon goes ahead, uses that Widowmaker ultimate. Able to see people through walls for a little bit, getting chased down by Shu's Roadhog. Gotta be careful there. Oh. Ooh, close call. And the Hanzo versus Widow duel. Now Shadowburn's got his ultimate too. Configuration tank is all locked and loaded for Paris Eternal. Still waiting for the shots. Okay. Shadowburn, they gotta try to heal him. Woo! They kept him alive. Thank you, Invulnerability Field. It barely lived. Yep. Shadowburn survived that. That's incredible, man. Kib gets the kill onto Soon as well. Finzi self-destruct, zoning charge out a little bit, getting that payload slightly more farther forward than it was. It did help Paris set up on that high ground too with Shadowburn again.
Yep, just going to go ahead and break through that barrier, waste some of the defense matrix from the Diva. Shadowburn in excellent position still, and has that configuration tank.
Charge trying to get
there we go.
There's the tank time. Ooh, takes out Soon immediately. Or Rio, rather. Soon taken out by Kib. Doesn't want to take out his own teammate. There we go. Chara down as well. Goodbye, Hotba. And that's going to be the pirate ship sailing its way through point B.
Guangzhou looks pretty flustered right now. They were running that single support, double sniper composition for a long time. Now, Kib, we do get to see his Genji. Nope. Oh. Well, we almost saw his Genji. I saw it for 1 second in spawn, Noah.
I'm happy for you. Oh, Shadowburn gonna get jumped on here. Guangzhou Charge. Try to do it again. Invulnerability Field is up. Self-destruct comes in. Everybody lives through it, man. That Invulnerability Field was not touched. Guess what? You can hit people with anything you want. They are not going to die unless you kill the field.
Well, the problem is Guangzhou switched over to Winston 3-3, so it's a long time till they get ult. So what else can they do besides eco push, throw themselves onto the card? They're playing for the end here, but 4 minutes plus right now still remaining for the Eternal.
It was fast. Quite fast. Shadowburn nearly has another configuration tank built up. Soon gets his ult, uses it immediately. Paris knows everything as far as where Charge is.
So you see Shadowburn right there, still in this Bastion. Rarely do you see him play it this late into the map.
All right, Invuln Field again. This is what a lot of people have been using Batiste for lately. That Invuln Shield, keeping their Bastion alive. There's the tank. It's tank time again. And for those targets still hanging on the iron. Oh, Shu! That's a wrong doorway to come through. Rio! That's the wrong stairway to come down. Paris Eternal. Just been all over Guangzhou. Charge. Kib down. Goodbye, Hotpa's mech. Hotpa soon to charge. There goes Chara. Wow.
Pirate ship's about to dock, Noah.
I was going to say, they're coming in. Coming in for a landing. At the dock. That's it.
Noah understands how ships work.
I don't know. You do land a ship. Whatever. Shadowburn we're all having a great time here.
We are.
Shadowburn
having a giggle.
As long as we're not on Guangzhou Charge, we're having a great time.
So there was never a reason for Shadowburn to leave the Bastion. Obviously, when we've seen the Junkertown played by teams last year in the 2018 season, this was, you didn't switch off the Bastion unless they forced you to, because if you can't dive it properly, it continues to be effective because every point on this map has long sight lines that you can abuse.
Yep. True enough. The Bastion who lived.
All the way through the map. Finzi is, and Shadowburn actually didn't die at all on that attack round. 27 limbs to 5 in favor of the Paris Eternal.
That was just a great demonstration of how important it is to focus fire down the Invuln field when it comes up if you can. Because, man, if you don't, you can live through anything. You can live through Dragon Strikes. You can live through Self-Destructs. You can literally just sit there as a turret and keep shooting.
Yeah, there have been a lot of weird question marks around Guangzhou Charge's play tonight. They look a lot less coordinated than we've seen them in the past. Could be just an off day.
Yep.
Could have not had a great read on the meta coming into this stage, there's going to be a difference. There's going to be a difference between the teams that, don't innovate but master the meta later on in the stage, and those who are innovative but don't have the same skill ceiling at the meta later on.
That's the thing. So Paris Eternal on the defense, going for the Mei wall early on, just trying to separate the team as they step out. And this is a good way to handle the Bastion comp, actually. You just deny it from ever getting to the payload. Paris Eternal actually going for the full hold here on Junkertown. We're going ladder strats now.
I don't know if this is a good idea from Paris. They must be very confident.
Yeah, I'd agree.
There's a Happy is flanking around the backside right now. He's looking.
Ooh. I mean, if you can get a nice headshot onto the Mei, we'll see. Or a couple shots on the Cloudy there. Oh, Kib finishes him off. All right, that's something. Okay, well, this is starting to fall apart a little bit. Shadowburn. Ooh, does not duck and weave enough. And this defense starting to fall apart a little bit for Paris.
So the problem with the Mei is,
Goodbye.
It's great if you surprise them and you catch somebody on the exit. But if you're in that position, Guangzhou realized instantly that Happy could just set up a crossfire. And there's nothing that they can do about that. Paris is, they are just paralyzed. And
was that a kind of a joke there?
No. I was confused by the invulnerability field that came down, considering the long cooldown on that ability.
Nobody will ever find him there. It's in the bushes, on the edge of the cliff.
He's just popping up. He's like a gopher, a deadly gopher.
Deadly gopher. Well, what's a little rodent that lives on cliffs? Maybe he's one of those that, I don't know. Here comes a wall. Kib getting that double damage, firing through the amplification matrix. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. You thought Bastion did enough damage? No. Let's double it. I feel like when Bastion is in turret form and he's firing, he should also just scream the entire time. Like, ah!
That sounds pretty annoying, though.
Sounds intimidating. Shadowburn down. Happy finds another one. Headshot onto Shadowburn.
Why is Shadowburn still on this Mei?
I don't know. Junkertown is a silly place. We know this. We know this from last year.
That's my question. Okay, finally Shadowburn decides that being Roadhog is probably the better play here. But he doesn't have the halt to remove people from behind the Orisa barrier.
Yep. All right, Coalescence, Paris Eternal. Going in aggressively, pushing back the rest of Charge. They have to give up that spot. But the payload's still moving. Yeah, so they've dislodged him from the high ground, but they haven't really stalled the payload yet.
No, they haven't. They used the Coalescence, but without any eliminations to show for it, now they have to come back in without it.
Tank time. Oh, self-destruct time. Finzi gets killed by Kib's configuration tank. He gets stunned, taken out, though. Oh, it's only a part left. Oh, the humanity.
He really just destroyed himself right there.
Yeah.
Paris Eternal rushing in with their Graviton Surge. Lots of ults used, though, to maintain that defense. Will Kib swap? Be our question right now. Maybe not, considering Chara still has the amplification matrix available to him.
Yeah, if you can put a good one up there, that's a good chance. They're going to go in now with this. Okay, amp matrix down, trying to cut through that sound barrier. Shadowburn taken out. They're going to fire the whole hog through the amplification matrix, plus the Bastion.
Plus the supercharger.
Plus the supercharger. Well, that's some damage.
Well, Paris didn't have any ults, so their best choice was really to just run at them and see if they could get something done. But I mean, the sheer amount of damage from the Amp Matrix, the Supercharger, the whole hog, and the Bastion is just absurd.
Just missing Mercy's ultimate there. Damage boost more people. All right, Guangzhou charge. We'll see how long they can stall here at the end of point B. Happy's in the back. And Kib, of course. Happy to be on the high ground behind the Orisa shield. Ah! See? Oh, Shadowburn. Ooh, barely escaped with his life there for the moment. He's nearly got the whole hog. They really need to keep this Roadhog alive. Tank time again for Kib. Going up high, getting a lot of damage in on that first shot there. Self-destruct. Cloudy gets another one. Kib going in for the follow-up. In Vaughn field, though, down to keep Kib alive. And like you said, point B taken by Guangzhou charge. They've got 3:40 on the clock going into C.
Yeah, Guangzhou looking better on this attack. Has been a bit silly from Paris, though, you have to say. And they are going to come in with a whole hog and a Graviton. Of course, a classic combo because you can hold people in place to deal maximum amount of damage with the whole hog.
Well, headshot Happy looking for a few more picks here. See what he can get. Shadowburn down early.
He's been in a crossfire on the Paris Eternal this entire attack round so far, it seems like.
Yeah, that's right. Cloudy drops a shatter, but they don't seem to get a whole lot out of it.
They're just trying to delay the payload right now as much as they can. Coalescence is going to come through as they fight for control.
Pretty much. All right, there we go. I don't know if Bastion's really getting any benefit from that. Might be too far forward. Yeah, had to back up. There's the configuration tank now. Running through it. Cloudy down, looking for a bit more. There goes Gray. Paris did get a kill onto Happy, though, and Hoppa's mech.
Invulnerability field going to keep Kim alive for the time being, actually, but he has to get out of there and up onto that high ground.
Now the rest of his team having some trouble. Shu can't be kept alive as well. Meanwhile, that payload's still moving. Paris Eternal. They've bought enough time that they're going to have the better time bank no matter what.
I still am curious what the purpose of Shadowburn being on this Roadhog really is. Maybe just to put enough pressure onto the Orisa barrier to expose the Bastion.
I mean, they've got their own Orisa too, so they can pull people from behind the barrier. But it can be tough. There's a nice halt. Self-destruct coming in now from the Paris side. Finds Char's in Vuln field, but that's about it. Meanwhile, the payload.
He's going to play Ring Around the Rosie.
That's right. Oh, he misses hook. I mean, that's the thing. With only the Orisa shield, you do get some opportunities to throw out that hook from Roadhog. You need to be accurate with it.
Nice zone there.
Oh, yeah, Happy in a lot of trouble. Had to back away from the orb, and then easy finish for Vinzi. There goes Kip. So, Paris Eternal getting a bit of defensive stability now.
Yeah, powering through, too, with the Coalescence
Yeah.
to heal them as they march towards the Guangzhou charge. Kip's still on this Bastion.
They're really dedicated to pushing the pirate ship, but now they're just pirates without their ship. They're landlubbers now.
I know. They don't even have access to their vast golden treasure on the payload.
You got to make some swaps. It's a different type of combat. They're still going to try to set up on the high ground, so it's kind of this mobile hardpoint idea right behind the Bastion.
Happy looking for a pick on the flank. It will be difficult for him to find an appropriate target, though.
Yep. All right, Chara. As the Ant Matrix, there he is, throwing it down. Oh, Kip stunned, though. They couldn't get it up in time to stop the shatter, and Paris just runs charge right over.
D-Mech, though, onto Finzi.
That payload's moving, by the way.
Yeah, Shu still is moving backwards.
Oh, yeah, it is moving backwards. So I said it was moving.
Shu is going to be picked off at the end of that, so a little bit of a delayed kill.
Now some changes
Finally.
coming from charge.
Okay, now they are going to switch with 25 seconds left and do a Reinhardt 3-3. Not sure now was the time to do that. Maybe a couple minutes ago.
I think now when you don't really have time to build up your ults, it's going to be tough to make this work, but we'll see what they can do. Paris Eternal, one fight away from a 4-0 right now. Here we go, Coalescence used immediately. Shu down almost instantly. Rio taken out quickly too. That self-destruct did nothing for Hotba, and that's going to be Paris Eternal. Now the payload's moving. Char snuck back on the Lucio to try to do something, but that should be about it. Self-destruct used by Paris just to keep zoning, and that's going to be a 4-0 victory for the Paris Eternal over the Guangzhou charge.
And a much-needed 4-0 for Paris as well. The map differential is something they had to address because even though they're now 50%, they're still at -4 maps. So it's a mountain they have to climb, but an auspicious Stage 2 debut with new players for Paris and new roles for their existing players.
It's great to see. This new look Paris Eternal is exactly what this organization needs. The question is now, can they keep this momentum going as they move forward in Stage 2?
And also the Guangzhou charge. A team with a tough schedule last time, but some impressive results all the same. Struggled here against the Paris Eternal, and we'll see. It looked like a lot of communication issues bogging them down today.
Yeah, it was a bit odd to see the charge look so discombobulated, but got some time to turn it around. For now, though, we'll send it over to Mika, who has LH Cloudy standing by for an interview.
Thanks, guys. That's right. We got LH Cloudy down here on the floor. And congratulations on your amazing debut. You took the win today. And this is your first time on the Overwatch stage. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I was very enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a good time. You had a lot of fun, and there's a lot of new changes in this meta. We've been seeing some interesting comps. Can you tell us what the practices and the scrims have been like? Have you been enjoying it? You know, getting to flex onto some different heroes?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Like first few weeks, everyone's trying out. Now it's kind of figured out, but it's been pretty fun.
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys are having fun. It's always fun to see you guys enjoying yourself. So that's all we have down here. Back to you, Monty and Doa.
All right, so let's just review that. It was fun, and the meta's figured out. Thank you.
Yeah, we love how loquacious Cloudy can be in his interview.
You know who talks too much? LH Cloudy talks too much, guys. He needs to be a bit more concise. Well, let's take a look at our player of the match. By Omen, by HP. Who's it going to be? It is the one, the only. It is Soon. That's right.
I know, and especially if it feels good to have Soon, because we had to talk about his Zarya performance, which was sort of underwhelming at the start of the match. But you know what? He got back into his flanking ways, played some great Sombra today, very disruptive. And I think really this has always been Soon's greatest strength is his decision-making when he's sort of that solo operator.
He's the lone wolf.
He's the lone wolf, deep behind enemy lines.
Right.
Trying to disrupt the enemy composition. He got another chance to do that today. And not only that, his Zarya looked like it had improved as well. So.
Yeah, that was one of the complaints we had with him in stage number 1, is that Zarya did look a bit shaky from time to time, but performing really well on it today. And of course, like you said, the ability to kind of go back and cause those individual plays to swing things around, a big part of what delivered Paris Eternal that 4-0.
Yeah, Soon is the solo disruptor, right? That's where you want him to play. This is a meta where they're trying to figure out how to use him better, and I think the Sombra was a great way to empower his strengths.
Yeah, well, a fun day of matches, guys, but we're not done yet. That's right. Watchpoint post-show coming up next, so do not miss it. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more Overwatch League games. But again, post-show, watch it. See you then.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
You want to Excelsior game?
You know what's up.
Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the Watch Point Post Show live from the Blizzard Arena in Los Angeles. It's the new look post show. Check it out. Look at him. Can you guys see? Come on. Can we give him a shot in the back? Maybe not. Maybe not. We got a cool set, guys.
It really looks like.
Look, it's all shiny and new, guys.
It's nice. It's like a whole new desk.
Right. It's amazing. It looks great. All right. Anyways, guys, I'm your host Malik. And I'm joined by Zoe, Brent, and Sideshow. Guys, it feels good to have another day in the books, the first day of the stage. What's your biggest takeaways for today from all the action?
Paris are legit, and Fusion are still really struggling. I think are the big two that I've taken away from them.
Paris is legit? I mean, we've seen this movie before where they...
I was about to say, right? Like, let's give it another 2 games because we thought the same thing in stage 1. It's like, oh, yeah, 3-3, let's go. And then they're just kind of... You know.
Right, but I wasn't even expecting Paris to be, very good whatsoever coming into stage 2.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's the
What a
surprise for
hater.
me.
Legit contenders. All right. What about you, Brent?
I think that I learned that, it's nice that we saw something different in Triple Time Triple Support, but it's also not nice because I don't really understand what they're doing with the comps as much. When it's Triple Time Triple Support, you've seen so much of it, you just know, like, oh, these are the win conditions for a fight. I'm looking at this, I'm like, there's a Bastion. Hey, what's going on? Oh, panicking internally. I'm like, oh, man, I'm supposed to be an expert, and now they're playing Bastion.
Oh, it's all right. It's very simple. You just shoot at the enemy team. The enemy team shoots
Thank you for
at you.
explaining it to me.
It's super simple.
I mean, I like the experimentation. I think it's good.
It is cool.
It's a welcome
It is
change.
super cool.
Welcome change. What about you, Zoe? What was your big takeaway?
I think my biggest takeaway is that, coming into this, I was so excited for all the maps we have in the rotation this time. Junkertown. I know maybe not the most popular opinion, but I was like, this is one of my favorite maps.
Oh my goodness.
And then I saw
really?
but then I know, I'm not done with my bit here, please. I thought it's my favorite map, and then I remembered that we all played Pirate Ship on it, and it was a cruel awakening today. I was like, oh, that's why no one liked it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Now Batista's here. Will it still be your favorite map?
I don't know about that. Let's
These
see
sick
it.
Widowmaker.
Tell you what, though, yeah. That's the best part.
The Widowmaker
The
is great.
Widowmakers more. It's like that Widowmaker matchup. It's like I've gone back to 2018. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I've been enjoying the Widowmaker play that we had here today. Now, like we said, Stage 2 kicked off today, so let's get into the action. The Guangzhou Charge faced off against the Paris Eternal, and coming out of halftime, it was Paris holding the 2-0 lead. The Charge needed to find any momentum that they could as Ike involved, but ultimately, the second half ended up being just more Parisian domination.
Look at this boy. Look at him. Look at him go. Like, this is Shadowburn who's been waiting to be unleashed on this role, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is like old times.
Yeah, I love to see it, honestly. He's such a talented projectile player, and it's good to finally start to see his talents really being put to a lot of use.
Absolutely one of the best Paras in the league, for sure, alongside guys like Ding from the Shanghai Dragons. But I think it's not just the meta that's allowed him to flex onto some of these heroes, it's also the map pool. Oasis is really good for the Pharah, so is the Zhang, so is Eichenwald. So a lot of the maps that we have in the pool right now are very strong for that particular hero, and so we're going to see a lot more of it.
Not to take anything away from what Paris did today, but I do also have to shout out that Charge did not look good today. They looked very scattered, very ill-prepared, if you will. And I was a little bit disappointed. They had a severe lack of coordination on more than one occasion. I kind of hope they're going to clean it up. It didn't look like they practiced a lot.
Do we think that this might be the communication issues of having the mixed sort of nationalities coming on?
It didn't seem to bother them in the first.
Yeah, no, it didn't, did it?
Yeah.
I think Zoe's probably hit the nail on the head. I think this is a team that perhaps didn't had more of a break in the season, in the gap between stage 1 and stage 2, haven't had as much time to get to grips with the meta. They look like they're not as prepared and ready, but I think that Charge will get better as the stage goes on because it does seem to be a lack of preparation.
Yeah, they definitely looked a little rusty today as opposed to how they looked at the end of the last stage. But ultimately, Paris, they look like they're back to being contenders. So I know the fans at home were screaming at the top of their lungs throughout the entirety of this match.
Vive la France and all that.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
What, is that what you know?
Just, well, it can be any which thing. You can say allez le bleu.
Allez le bleu.
But it's usually allez le bleu. That's why you... Qu'est-ce que c'est? Avec le 6?
Avec le 6. Avec le 6. That's what I was waiting to hear.
In Overwatch, that's what we say.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, in our match of the week, The NYXL tried to right the ship after disappointing everybody in their exit from the Stage 1 playoffs. They had to bounce back against a team that put them out the season playoffs, though, last year. And that ended up being a problem for the Fusion. New York was motivated straight from the top of this one.
Yep, they dominated. I mean, this isn't so much even New York dominating as well. I mean, obviously they look fantastic in this game, but where were the Philadelphia Fusion? Do they want to turn up at some point?
I remember we were going out for the halftime, and I passed Christopher, and he just looked at me with his raised eyes and went, "Oh, well."
Yeah, unfortunately, this was one of those games that Philly occasionally have throughout the season where they just totally collapse.
Yeah.
And then after the first half, they looked like they were mentally out of it as well. And so they really have a bit of work to do. I think they played a lot of different heroes here, and that didn't really help them.